One.
Sanbonani and welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Khotom Pondlovu, guys. So today I'm with my brother Tabang. How are you, my boy?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, man. So about today's topic, very exciting one. What do you think about it?
I think it's a very interesting topic that we're about to talk about.
Okay, interesting. I get that. And I think we're gonna get backlash for this.
Ah, it's an opinion, so they can talk whatever they want to talk. So.
Okay, so we've came to a conclusion.
Exactly.
So someone said arguably is the term that we should use, but our conclusion is that the AFCON of 2023, which is played now in 2024, is the best international football tournament in the past 10 years. So in the past 10 years, what we are counting is the 2014 World Cup. We are counting the 2016 Euro. We are counting the 2018 World Cup. We are counting the Copa Americas between that, where before and after. I think which one Messi won 2021 or 2022?
That's 2022.
2022,
Yes.
the one that Messi won.
Yeah.
And we're also counting the Euro of 2020 that Italy won.
Yes.
And I mean, in the conclusion, and
As well as the Nations League as well.
so UEFA Nations League
Yeah.
also, but we are counting the ones which are actually, getting. I mean, they're following that they're getting because there are AFCONs in between that, but we are counting all these tournaments that have been looked at in the manner in which this AFCON has been looked at. And our conclusion is that AFCON is the best football tournament. And what do you think about that? Let's start with the man behind the camera. What do you think about that? Do you think we can conclude that the AFCON of 2024 is the best football tournament in the past 10 years?
I'll be completely honest with you. This is by far the best AFCON tournament I've ever watched. Ever since I've started watching football. I've never been a fan of African football. I'll be very honest with you guys. But then after watching this tournament,
It has given you guys.
It even gave off like that World Cup type of feeling. The feeling that the World Cup that was supposed to give us, that it actually didn't give us.
Yeah.
This AFCON tournament actually gave us that. It was exciting.
I mean, if you
Very
look at the
exciting.
World
also,
Cups,
if you look at like some of the teams that we didn't even actually expect to perform, they were actually on fire. The likes of Cape Verde, So like it was very exciting.
someone would argue that this video is a pro-African video, pan-African video. However, we are not about the African consciousness vibe, guys. We love Africa. It's our continent. We live there. Obviously, we're supposed to speak for it, but we're not really selling Africa to you guys. I mean, let's talk about the World Cup, because if we are putting AFCON in a position of being the best international football tournament in the world for the past 10 years, we are basically speaking against the past three World Cups, 2014, 2018, and 2022. So let's start with the 2022, the most recent one. Do you think it was as competitive as the AFCON?
I don't think so, because we already knew the best, or we already knew who would get to the finals. You knew Argentina would come up, knowing that Messi, that was his last World Cup, right?
Yeah, it was
Maybe.
supposed to be his
Exactly.
last World Cup.
And you knew France already was on fire through the last World Cup, and they had Mbappe, Griezmann,
Not
best.
really the final we anticipated. However, if we have to speak about the favorites rising to the occasion, that's exactly what happened.
Yes, exactly.
Argentina was the number one ranked country in the world, and they made the World Cup final. Spain was the number one ranked country in the world in 2010. As much as they had quite a run in getting there, quite an exciting roller coaster ride, but it was expected. Same with Argentina. Like, we expected Argentina to rise to the occasion in the manner in which it did. We're not saying the tournament was not competitive, but it was not competitive in a manner in which you'd see some surprise wins where the number one ranked country would get stunned. They got stunned against Saudi Arabia, but I mean, it was all to play for. They never got stunned out of the competition. I mean, Morocco was expected to take the tournament, and what happened?
They got knocked out, same as Algeria,
Algeria,
Ghana,
Ghana, exactly.
So no one expected South Africa, Cape Verde, Tunisia to be out. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like off topic a little bit.
Okay.
Because like it's, what can I say? I'm not gonna say it's a conspiracy
Yeah.
of some sort. But then like, do you think
The World Cup was rigged.
it was rigged? But I'm gonna say this. No. No hate for Argentina. Much love, big time. As much as I am a Ronaldo fan, respect Messi, big time. But then there's been this thing. I think since the 2002 World Cup, FIFA EA has been like predicting the winners since then, and it has
Happened according
and it
to
happened
those
according to those predictions, and it had it like spot on. From Italy 2006,
I think
predicted
on
it won.
Argentina, what would be actually something that would make people raise eyebrows is actually how Argentina got to the finals. It's how they got penalties on almost each and every game. No, it's a fact. You're a Messi fan. You like Argentina. You like Messi, but
really
it's a
am.
fact,
Yeah.
isn't it? Or how Brazil was the strongest team in the tournament, the best team for me, but look at how they got knocked out. Right. Unfortunate, but it's football. It always
Yeah, but then
happens like that.
this whole thing of the FIFA prediction,
Do you think
it's actually
they set
it's
up?
actually it
But
actually
teams play football, guys.
it screams controversy, dog.
France had a chance to win that World Cup. That last chance of the game, the goalkeeper pulled the fire.
Exactly.
I'm not disputing
they
that,
play football.
but then like it screams it screams being rigged.
But
Because
look
like
at the
how
stellar
can no like how can one
performances that Argentina
how can they have the same, how can they predict winners in more than 5 World Cups?
Let's save it for another day when we're about the World Cup itself. Maybe if we are questioning the credibility of the World Cup one day, if we are to do that, but we cannot be pro football and then be anti World Cup, guys. So we can't. Okay, so I've came to a conclusion. And
I'm just saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's
come
continue.
on. Those are conspiracy theories, my guy. Okay, in our argument of the AFCON being the best international football tournament, I've actually came up with all the favorites. 7 favorites for the tournament. So I've listed down Morocco, I've listed down Egypt, I've listed down Algeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Tunisia, and Nigeria. Let us be fair. Let us
What
not
about
only Senegal also,
And
yes,
Senegal, yeah.
absolutely.
Those are the top
absolutely.
eights.
Those are the favorites, were the favorites for the tournament. But it did not happen in that way in which we anticipated these favorites to actually rise to the occasion like that. So, and about that also, yo, my pen. Can you get it for me, boy? Well, let me get it. Nice, chill. I got it. Yeah. So Senegal also should have been listed as the favorites, but it did not happen like that. They were favorites. They came strong. I mean, they had a perfect qualification.
The football they were playing in the group stages, beautiful,
amazing.
Like
I mean, they're a mixture
you'd swear that they'll just go for it again, but
exactly. But it did not happen.
It didn't happen.
I feel like the competition of the AFCON, I love how it is rose to the integrity of African football being competitive, because if it was a one-way traffic in the manner in which people expected it to be, if Morocco, because they made the World Cup semi-finals, would actually go to the finals and win the AFCON, what does that say about the competition of African football? So shout out to all the coaches who made sure that African football being competitive is not something that we speak about behind closed doors, but it's something that they got to witness on the field also in terms of the results. I'm speaking about all these teams that were underrated but rose to the occasion. I'm not just speaking about South Africa, but I'm speaking about the likes of Angola, Cape Verde, who are rising giants of African football, I believe. And I'm also speaking about also, I think I've also listed another team which would be rising favorites, which would be the DRC. The DRC also played well, and their run actually speaks for itself, you know.
On that case, being the DRC, I'd like to shout out to my man Aaron. Yeah, I know you had high hopes for your country, my guy, but it didn't happen as planned. But then, like, they did well.
Yeah, they absolutely did well, and hopefully, I mean, we see this level of competition with the World Cup having extended the number of countries which come there. Hopefully, African football gets to be as competitive as they were. But what I like about the competitiveness of the African tournament is that playing in Europe and playing in the highest level of football did not mean anything. As if you are not playing according to the competition that the AFCON is played at, like if a player was not playing at the level of competitiveness that the AFCON is played at, it would be evident. If a player is undermining the AFCON, maybe, and having an approach that it's going to be an easy tournament, it's been evident. We have players who are halfway committed to the AFCON, like Andre Onana, who considered his Tottenham game at Man United more important
than the first
game of Cameroon. And on his first game of the tournament, he conceded 3 goals without having a single save. So it shows that when a player is halfway committed, that's what happens. We have players like Mo Salah, no disrespect to him, I mean, he's a great player, world-class player. However, you can look at how he was quick to fly to Anfield when his country was not even knocked out of the tournament. And him being halfway committed, is actually reflecting on his performances within the tournament as they were poor. But you look at the determination and the hard work of Victor Osimhen, regardless of not scoring goals, we've been saying that he's been playing well and is going to the final right now. You know,
Exactly. Just might take it again.
do you
Just
want
might
Nigeria to take it?
I think for me,
I don't think Nigeria's been playing.
I want Ivory Coast to take it because they're the host. So I mean, no, they hosted the finals with this some.
I mean,
besides Ivory Coast being like the tournament favorites,
they've never been the favorites, though. Let's be honest.
Why am I saying? I'm trying to say hosts, man.
Yeah,
tournament
yeah.
hosts. They're actually one of the teams. They're actually the only team actually I can say that actually pulled up a fight in this thing.
Yes,
No, but
They weren't playing the best.
They were third.
They weren't
Yeah,
playing.
third.
They were third.
Yeah.
They need to fight back to be one of the favorites.
No,
They
but
weren't playing
an
the best
element
football.
of luck also contributed, because you remember that Morocco did not need to win that game, and Hakim Ziyech did not really need to score the goal he scored, but he scored it, and then Ivory Coast got lucky. And look at where they're at now.
And I'm saying like they actually fought. They didn't play the best football, but then they're fighters.
Yeah, but they fought because
their
you
way
look at
to the
how many
finals.
times they've been behind on their games,
Exactly.
on their quarterfinals, as well as their last 16 game
Against Senegal,
against Senegal,
they fought.
in which they were
fight.
underdogs, but they fought. Look at how South Africa fought against Morocco, and then people would think that South Africa, because they beat Morocco, they are all of a sudden favorites. But Nigeria fought, because it was a game in which Nigeria did not even dominate. They did not play the best football in that game.
Exactly.
But Nigeria fought. Defensively, they stood solid and compact. They stood tactically disciplined, and they ended up winning the game. So I think it's been a wonderful tournament to watch all around. And like I said, for me, I think based on the competition, the competition being one which is very competitive, like tournament football being the tournament football you wanted to be as football fans, it's been the best football tournament in the past 10 years.
Yeah, it has.
But if you argue otherwise, you can say, tell us something on the comments, maybe, wake us up to maybe what we are sleeping on. But I think we've listed all the tournaments. And okay, the 2014 World Cup, nobody expected Brazil to be knocked out in that manner even.
Yeah,
I think that's the only tournament which is as close to being as competitive as...
And as exciting as well.
No, but it's not. The only thing which was exciting, which was a shock within the 2014 World Cup. I'm not saying other times were not really exciting. We've had the beautiful run of Costa Rica. However, if we have to be honest, the only shock within that tournament was that Brazil lost to Germany. Anything other than that, it was all expected results. We expected Messi's Argentina to go all the way. We expected Germany, after having beat Brazil, to beat Argentina also. So, I mean, we expected Spain. Okay, Spain was a bit of a shocker with how they went out. And their results against the Netherlands would be actually one which one would say was a shock. But it never happened at the knockout stages where Spain would get knocked out as dismal as they were. So I still stand on AFCON. But the closest tournament would be the 2014 World Cup. But give us any other international football tournament. Please, bro.
We'll see what the next World Cup has in store for us. America, we're waiting.
I feel like, the commercialization of football, or maybe football being made extra professional, too much work in the boardroom is actually ruining the competitiveness or maybe the fun of football. You look at this blue card thing, you think it's good for the game?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
many
we hate
coaches also
controversial losses, we hate unfair losses, but that is why we love football. There has to be things that we talk about post-game. I mean, this is like the Gran Kekana incident on that straight red card. Someone said it was too soft. Someone said there was no contact at all. And those are
And I think one coach in the Premier League, I'm not sure if it was Ange, the Tottenham coach, or it was, who's this? Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
They actually mentioned something about like, what if the keeper is the one that gets sent off? Does that mean that the team is going to play the 10 minutes without a goalkeeper or what? Or do they have to like sub it in?
Do they have to make another player goalkeeper until the goalkeeper...
I doubt.
No, but I feel like
they'll have to make another player.
I feel like there should be a way in which they deal with certain behaviors of players, which is why all the behind the scenes work and boardroom is necessary. If a player gets away with having done something, it makes sense to suspend him with work that is done off the field. But that on the field suspension for 10 minutes, that one is weird. Are we making our game rugby now?
Imagine.
Because there are players who had behaviors which are not... I mean, look at Ashraf Hakim with how he was arguing with the referee, or most Morocco players on their game against South Africa.
And against the USA Congo, where they forced their way out.
Exactly. Such things have to be confronted and dealt dealt with. I get that, but let it be all behind the scenes. Now, these temporary match bans, or maybe it's to make sure that the players stay and calm inside the game. But either give the
Nah,
player a
but
yellow
like-
card or a red card. I think the yellow card and red card do enough justice.
Exactly. Why introduce another card?
Because some red
Why?
cards are even harsh. I feel like they kill
They
games.
kill the game. Yes.
Yeah, they kill games.
Just give me a yellow card. Let the game
There are many.
continue.
We have
Let
enough
it happen.
controversial red
Exactly.
cards to argue about. So imagine a blue card within those 10 minutes, the opponent score, and then the competition is getting killed by the minute. How many teams are going to lose games in a manner which is questionable because of that card? It's crazy, but it's a story for another day, guys. If you think what you think maybe about what you have said, feel free to give us your input on the comments. But we're still standing where we're standing. I don't think we can be talked out of it, can we?
No, we can't.
So are you in favor or you're
Still
against our... Okay, let me proclaim it so that people can know what this video is about. We are saying that the Africa Cup of Nations, the AFCON of this year, which is actually the name for 2023, is the best international football tournament for the past 10 years.
Yeah. So far, guys.
So far.
So far.
Which other tournament? Oh, we have the Euro. But is
Yeah,
the Euro
which is
going to be
coming, it's
competitive
coming.
to that level?
I don't think so. I think the favorites are going to come up top. You know, Portugal.
As they always do.
Portugal is named as the favorites.
France.
Exactly, France.
Yeah, unless if we get one of them knocked out at the group stages. But it's
Yes.
not really about the favorites being knocked out, but I mean it's about each and every game being where the teams fight
Yes.
each other to the death. I mean, it's not over until the fat lady sings. We've seen
Yes.
that. We've seen Senegal be at a point of eliminating the hosts. Then what happened? We've seen DRC being at the verge of being eliminated at the quarterfinal. Then what happened? You understand? We've seen South Africa's goalkeeper pull up some amazing stops against Morocco and winning the game for them. And then people thought that with Ronald Williams having performed in the manner in which he did against Morocco, he'd do the same against Nigeria, the penalty shootout. But what happened? So it's all up to that. It's all what you're saying. And so you are for it also. Everyone is for it. Are you for it, my guy?
I love this tournament, guys.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Loved it.
tournament. Who's
Loved
taking
it.
it?
Loved it.
For me, I'll have to go with DRC Congo. No, I have to
No.
go with Ivory Coast for me.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
doing it to Ivory
I
Coast.
hate how the
Coast.
most obvious thing about this tournament would be the African Player of the Year winning the AFCON. Not saying that he is less of a worthy shot for it. He has played well, but it's obviously according to people's expectations. That's the only thing that I don't like.
I say Cote d'Ivoire.
But he's not
actually-
really the top scorer within the tournament.
It's
No,
actually
it's
going
Lookman.
to. It's going to pull off like the fight of their lives. They've shown it throughout these games.
With the crowd
They're
behind
gonna-
them also.
They're going to
Bits,
give
bro.
Nigeria a run for
Bits.
their money. They're going to give them a run for their money. If Nigeria is going to win this, they want to come out crying.
Do you think Nigeria are worthy shots for the upset?
I think Cote d'Ivoire was a shot for the upset.
Nigeria is not playing beautiful football enough
It's
to
not.
actually stand the host like that. If they were playing like beautiful football like Cape Verde, I would say that no, they stand a good chance of stunning the hosts. Because but they also got stunned. I think that wound of losing 4-0 to the Equatorial Guinea is still within them.
So for
but
me,
still.
if they don't score within the first half, they're in big trouble. Because Ivory Coast is known for the second half, where they go all out. Hala comes in, Pepe comes in, you know.
Yeah, I
As
get
subs, they're good players, so they
Okay.
know
And I
how
think
to
they should
play.
also watch out for Sebastian Haller because
Exactly.
like he's warming up. Like it's a pity that like there's one more game left.
Yeah.
But like he's been warming up quite good.
Yes.
Okay, but let's make a conclusion upon all the favorites, all the surprise packages, and all the rising giants of African football that we've seen at the AFCON this year in terms of who we'd like to see in the World Cup. South Africa, obviously, we're going to mention as we are behind them, and every South
Obviously.
African football fan believes in them right now. But there is, okay, I'm going to mention for you. I've mentioned the favorites. I'm going to mention the rising giants of African football right now. I think it's South Africa, and it's Angola, it's Cape Verde, and it's also the